Hey guys, I'm just trying to put some more art out there. Oops, I started with a, well that is interesting. I started with a highlighter, so I guess I'll just go with it and see what happens. Sometimes in art, you have this thing called happy accidents. Not to be confused with happy little trees. Happy accidents are things that you didn't intend, but it works. So, what I was thinking of doing was doing a little info on proportions. I tend to make people very proportional, or at least I try. With faces, there's a general formula. So here, the shape of the face, usually you start with a circle, and somewhere about midway, you'll draw a line. Midway between here and there-ish, you'll draw a line. Midway between here and here, you'll draw another line. And midway between here and here, you'll draw another line. So the first part, the first set, is where, if you had pencils, you draw some orbs, some big eyes. This is the whole eyeball. And typically the eyes start with the top of the ears. My ears look a little high right now, but I can adjust it. And the second is the bottom of the nose. You can even just create a little shadow there. In between here and here, this is the middle of the mouth. And when you fill in your eyes, so you can start, put some eyeballs or irises, and the center of the irises tend to coincide with the center of the mouth. And then between here and here is typically the chin, the line of the chin. So let's see if that erases that. No, it does not. So then once you do your chin, you've got some muscles in the lips. You've got 4 muscles, one here, one there, one here, and one here. And you can exaggerate or minimize them to your liking. And then typically now there are some folks who have a whole other mathematical formula for how to get the eyebrows in line with the side of the mouth. I don't go that far just because you can fudge it a little bit. So I usually try to make the interior of the eyebrow thicker, and they tend to go out. They thin as they go out. And then you just sort of fill in the rest, so you can make the lid. So you can highlight the lid, darken the lash line is the word I'm looking for. And then typically, I always start with the eyes a little too big and try to rein them in. Noses can be tricky for a lot of folks. And there's a little line there that goes to the top of the lip. And now we can clean up some of the mess. Since the eyeball is going to be white anyway, you can clean that up with some white. Clean up underneath. And so, depending on where the light's coming from, we could try to make something where the light actually comes from below. That'll be interesting. So we would highlight underneath the nose. So this would almost be a reverse to what I typically do, which is light from above, light from below. Let's see if we can make that look right. So everything that would normally be shady is going to have light on it, and vice versa. Let's see if we can make this work. Now we can add some shade. Maybe. Some of the highlighter shades look a little darker, so we can try to add that in. Get a little shadow above the brow. Top of the nose. And with hair is always interesting because sometimes I just want to draw the same face over and over again with lots of different hairstyles. It's always been something that I've loved to do. But if I really love the face shape, sometimes I just do a hairdo that is out of the way. And with hair, you don't have to draw every strand unless you're working with a different medium maybe, but because with charcoal that can look really nice. But you want to follow the shape of the head. You want to make it look like it's being pulled back from the hair or from the scalp. And since our light is coming from below, give her a ponytail. Okay, and so if our light is coming from there, from here, then we'll probably be hitting some highlights. Right here. And up here. And we can fill in the rest. How's that looking? Okay, we want to make sure her chest gets some light. That's going to stick out some. Okay. Just a smidge more. We lost a little of her chin there. Okay. Maybe a little. That didn't look great. I'll do that. With the pen and pencil, also can do a different medium, so you can also make it look a little more like that, like a little scratchy. That's still dark. White, undo. But it may be possible to look a little less intense. That crayon or pencil has a little softer approach. I've never tried this before, so I'm really trying something new and it's not working. Alright, well, her chest is a little messed up, but let's give her some highlights or reflections in her eyes. We'll just focus on what worked today. Alright, there she is. She is unimpressed, lit from below. Y'all hang in there.